So as I was driving, it occurred to me what I wanted to do my first official topic episode on is neediness. In the last episode, episode 1, you probably heard me say that I've dated women as young as 19, as old as 55. A handful of them were definitely 7s and 8s. One had a body of a 9.5 and a face of maybe a 7, which puts her in the 9 range as far as men are concerned, because we know we're all about the butterface. But certainly 70, 80 odd women that are at least 5.5, 6 and better, and maybe a half a dozen 7s and above in 7 years. That's not bad for a guy in his 50s now, and late 40s at the time. And there was a common ingredient between the ones that were chasing me and the ones that couldn't get enough of me, and then the ones that I felt like I was always, putting in the effort, if you will, or chasing. Now, granted, I know that the so-called black pill types will say, well, if she's looks-wise out of your league, there's no chance she's going to stay with you. And I agree with that to an extent in the beginning phases of courtship or dating. I can completely agree that when you first start seeing a woman, you just simply cannot be unattractive to her because she doesn't know anything about me. She doesn't know your depth. But in the couple of cases of women that I would argue were looks-wise out of my league, certainly, that didn't work out, and these were literally the only 2 women that I can think of that broke up with me unilaterally. I would argue the single biggest thing I did wrong was I was needy. And what do I mean by needy? I don't mean I was blowing up her phone with multiple texts and, hey, did you get that last text and that sort of thing. No, that ship sailed so many years ago for me. I mean, shortly after my divorce, I learned to be patient and not to get anxious over silly stuff like that. No, the neediness I'm talking about it's energy. Women are incredibly perceptive creatures. They can sense anything, and their sensory abilities are just significantly better than ours as men. And if you put her on a pedestal, she'll look down at you. She has no other place to look but down. The old saying, you treat her like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a fan. In the beginning, she might find you attractive enough, intriguing, like in the case of the one gal that I know I fell hard for. I know she was intrigued by me. I was this grown guy, she's used to younger guys who's got his career set, he's making good money, he's well established. I am pretty fit. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, 182 pounds. I work out, I could do 60 push-ups. I'm not like the model of fitness. I don't have a 6-pack, but I don't have a fat tummy. I have a pretty flat tummy. You can almost make out a 6-pack if you look from a distance, but I look good. And so physically there was no issues. I mean, she, allowed me to do whatever I wanted to her in the bedroom, which women don't do that if they're not that into you. I mean, we did it all. I mean, it's stuff that most guys dream about doing. And so, but where it went sideways was I was needy. And what do I mean by I was needy? Well, it was me signaling to her, are you still there? A day would go by, I wouldn't hear from her. I'd think of a reason to send her a text. And it would be a very valid reason. We have plans to hang out. Hang on a second, you're going to hear some noise here from this construction. Let me put the windows up.
X-band. K-band.
Sorry, that's my radar detector there.
K-band. Laser.
Can't go anywhere in this country without hearing noise. All right, no, we don't hear the music anymore. All right, back to the topic. It was the fact that I was signaling to her that, are you still there? Are you still going to come out and visit me? Because, we were a long-distance relationship next week. Are we still on? That sort of vibe. It wasn't me saying those words. It was the vibe that I was sending with the text that I was sending. And I was basically sending her pictures of me and my friend riding out our motorcycles or something. Or, she used to send me good morning texts every day, religiously, which I thought was great. But I even knew that was too much. Even at that stage in my development, late development, I might add, I knew that good morning texts were just a real good way to turn a woman off. But from her, neediness is not the same thing when a woman's very hot. She can be pretty, quote, needy, and that rarely is going to turn a dude off. Unless he's one of these, what they call chads. He's a 9. He gets got 15, 20 hot chicks chasing him all the time. I just sent the energy. I sent the message to her that I'm a little anxious about you. And she even one time said, is it going to make you anxious if we change this and this? It's like she knew. And I never once told her I have any anxiety issues. And I'm not taking any meds, certainly. But she just deduced that. She figured out that, well, he sees me as the prize. And women don't want to be the prize. They want to get the prize. And the path we were on in the beginning was she was going to fall in love with me because I looked good enough for her. I had a lot of other things going for me in terms of status and maturity, and the sex was great. I took her to a new level in that area, and she would hold me and hug me in ways that I knew, and I have photographs of these pictures of her doing this. She was into me, but you send that message long enough to a woman that you're the prize, she's going to figure it out that, yeah, maybe I can do better. And the minute you fuck anything up, and we had a few arguments. Her and I were politically on different ends of the spectrum, and frankly, in hindsight, arguing with a woman over anything silly like that is stupid, especially in the beginning, because again, once they're in love with you, you have a lot more room. But I never let her get there. She was on her way there, and I intercepted her at every pass with needy behavior, and that was an example of it. That's about all I have to say about neediness. I think we've run a bit long today, so I'll pick this up with the next episode, and we'll talk about something new.